Have we just brought direwolves back from the dead? Or are they just fluffy white wolves? Colossal, who are an American biotech corporation, claim to have brought the direwolf, which has been extinct for 10,000 years, back from the dead, and it's made headlines globally. But these so-called direwolves haven't actually got any direwolf DNA in them. They're not direwolf clones, they're actually genetically modified grey wolves. Colossal have been describing these as phenotypic direwolves rather than genetic grey wolves. So a phenotype is your physiology and what you actually look like, whereas your genotype is your unique DNA fingerprint. So they're saying that they have the physical characteristics of direwolves, a slightly broader skull, they're bigger, and they're white and they're fluffier, but they have still got the mostly same genetics as the grey wolf. They did sequence some direwolf DNA from a direwolf tooth and a skull, I think it was, but they didn't actually use any of that DNA in their wolves. They're not a hybrid, they are just a genetically modified grey wolf. They have made some DNA alterations, so they've used some technology called CRISPR, which, to grossly oversimplify, is cutting and sticking bits of DNA together. And they've made 20 alterations to 14 genes. However, the exact genes that they've edited haven't been released because they've claimed this is intellectual property. Only some of these alterations were actually referencing the direwolf DNA sequence, but none of it is hybridization. It is all just alterations within the grey wolf genome. In fact, direwolves aren't actually super related to grey wolves, so I chatted to my friend Alex James, who's an excellent paleoartist. I'll tag him down below, and he also has a vast knowledge of anything that's extinct. And he explained that this is the equivalent of trying to genetically modify a pet cat to get a cheetah. They're relatives, but they're not direct descendants. What will we do with these direwolf cubs? They're not going to let them breed, they're going to keep them at their research facility, but that might be a good thing because actually they'd probably end up competing with our native grey wolves. They would have eaten similar prey, but some of the larger prey that they would have eaten, like woolly mammoth calves, are now extinct. So there's not necessarily a wild habitat for them to return to. There could be some value in what Colossal have been doing. Being able to create a phenotypic replica of an extinct species could help us replace their role in an ecosystem if it's something that's recently extinct. And they are making massive steps forward in genetic technology, especially in precision genome editing, which is how they created this genetically modified grey wolf. I do have concerns that this represents a billionaire's genetic toy box, especially because lots of their discoveries are remaining behind paywalls and hidden under the blur of intellectual property. And in fact, the journalist who went to visit these direwolves has explained how they are being kept in a pen that is patrolled by drones and is likely only ever going to be visited by the uber rich. So